All right, ladies, let's go ahead and hop into it for this week's MIT training video with me, Coach Vee, of course, the new Love Strategist, who is here to help you with a little bit of motivation, inspiration, and transformation. And I want to be real, all right, because some of us have been saying yes when we really meant no. What I want to talk about is guarding your yes and why I have been talking about sex so much this past week, and why it matters. If you have not already, make sure that you listen to the podcast episode that I just dropped this past Tuesday. So many gems, so many nuggets, so many aha, wow moments that are just going to leave you absolutely speechless. Okay. But let me ask you something. Have you ever gone along with something physically, sexually, because we're grown, but maybe emotionally you weren't really there? Maybe spiritually you felt disconnected. Maybe even mentally you felt a little numb. Please know this is not about judgment at all. It is about freedom. Y'all already know, open book, transparent. I definitely shared some things inside that podcast episode, like I always do. But I really want to talk about why sometimes we struggle to say no. Because saying yes to sex when your heart's not in it is almost always a trauma response. I know that many women, I used to be this way, I talk about it a lot, how when there is unresolved trauma, when there's trauma that you have not yet healed from or dealt with, it will lead to you actually saying yes and giving your body and having sex with men when you really don't want to, when there is some type of disconnect. But a lot of times women who have things from the past that they have not healed from and dealt with, they want that love, that validation, that belonging, that connection, and it will cause us to allow men to have access to our bodies when we really don't want to. It's like we do it willingly. So I'm not talking about being forced. I'm not talking about molestation or anything like that. We do it willingly. This is the fawn response from trauma, because there are those 4 trauma responses. And doing this, when you end up having sex, even though you really want to say no, but it's a struggle, this is really just people pleasing disguised as consent. How many of you have been there before? Sex becomes a way to avoid abandonment. It becomes something that we do to prove our worth, even sometimes to calm anxiety, loneliness, or whatever. There are these internal beliefs that a lot of women, and I see it a lot with Christian women, especially when there are things that they have not yet healed from, they believe things like, oh, well, he's not going to stay if I don't have sex with him. Or, I didn't want to I even had a woman say like her safety. She, was concerned about her safety if she did not say yes to having sex. There are some women who unfortunately believe that that is all they have to offer, right? It's like their worth, their self-worth is tied to them giving in and having sex. There are some women are like, oh, well, I already did it once. I can't stop now. Y'all know how much I love Proverbs 4:23, where it says, guard your heart above all else because it determines the course of your life. Your yes is connected to your heart. And guarding your yes is guarding your life's direction. Sex, should I say, it takes something from you. We always talk about the deposits and the things that people can give us from sex. When you think about transferring spirits and demons and all of these things, there are deposits that are ultimately made when you have sex. But it's also giving a part of you away. So it is taking something from you as well. And again, that's why a lot of women, they do have a certain mindset or attitude right now because they have given so much of themselves and they have gotten nothing in return. And it's making them a little bit angry because they have not yet gotten the one thing they truly want, which is a real connection. And for them, that connection is going to be a man who's saying, yes, I choose you, I want you. So we'll give parts of ourselves away to the men that it's like the healed version of ourselves wouldn't even want that man, wouldn't even give those men the time of day. So if we were to look at sex, self-worth, and the body-soul disconnect, know that when you don't love yourself, you will offer your body hoping that it is going to buy or win you love. Self-worth and loneliness will drive a lot of your sexual decision making because, again, it's like, I haven't gotten what I want, or this is the one thing that attracts many people. This is where I get the most attention. This is where I get noticed. And this is what makes men reach out or call or contact or whatever. And if you are someone who is saying like, hey, like I'm sick of it always being about sex. I'm sick of men bringing up sex. I'm sick of having sex and giving my body away. Because you have not yet healed the part of you that is allowing that, that is why you keep attracting that. What you do not heal, you will repeat. And unwanted sex is not going to fix what it is that you are truly craving, which is intimacy, connection, peace. One of the things I even talked about in the episode is just because you are having sex with someone does not mean you are being intimate with them. Someone can be inside of you and they still are not seeing inside of you. So there's a disconnect between what it is you want and what it is you're doing. And now you have this internal conflict that is going on, where some of you are not realizing that the most toxic relationship that you've ever been a part of is the one with yourself. And that is what I need you to focus on. That is what I need you to heal from and to deal with and to start loving yourself better so that you stop giving people access to you and parts of you that they do not even deserve. When your soul is crying out to be seen, sometimes your body will become the loudest voice. So I want you to focus on taking back sovereignty, because I need you to understand something, okay? Your body is not a peace offering. Your body is a temple. And when I say sovereignty, I'm talking about having full ownership over your body, your boundaries, and your beliefs. Having full ownership over those things. I talked in the podcast, whether you are currently engaging in sex, that is between you and the Lord. But I always ask my clients who are engaging in it, why? What is your reason for doing so? Is it something where it's like you really do have a high sex drive and that urge and that desire? We can work on that. But in most cases, it's, I don't think a man is going to wait. No man is ever wait. That's what I have always done. That's just what I do. Like, that's just part. We need to get to the bottom of why. You want to ensure that you're healing and doing what you need to do in this season so that 2026 does not look like 2025 and 2024. It's time for you to get serious about healing and developing that self-love, because what I know is that healing will help you stop performing and you will start discerning. It's time for you to love yourself and to really have those boundaries, get clear on who you are, what you want, what you deserve, what you desire, and start enforcing those boundaries. Because see, boundaries don't just protect you from others, they protect you from the unhealed version of yourself. Boundaries are the things that actually speak up and protect the little girl inside of you that was violated, betrayed, mistreated, abused, neglected, rejected, and or abandoned. You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, I need you to honor God with your body. That is the message that Paul gives us so clearly in 1 Corinthians 6. So it is time for you to guard your yes. It is time for you to get serious about honoring your body, honoring God, having those boundaries, and saying no. If you know that this has been a struggle of yours, if you're saying, yep, I'm realizing now this is all tied to my self-worth, self-esteem, self-love, the invitation is open. Let's go. We start Monday with Ascend 21, the 21-day self-love challenge. But before we even get to that, I'm excited about tomorrow, because what we are doing tomorrow is another round of the Stop the Trauma workshop, live and in action. You get to join me in a private room for about 2 hours, and we are really going to identify your traumas, how it shaped you, how it's been affecting you, and what you need to do to stop it and heal from it. Because again, what you do not stop, it will continuously repeat. And I know that trauma is the reason why you have been dating the way that you have been dating, why you have been in the relationships that you have been in. And again, if you're serious about wanting something different, then you need to do something different. So it's tomorrow, it's only $49. And then Monday, we're going to start with Ascend 21, the 21-day self-love challenge. Yes, every single day, there's going to be a lesson every single day. There's going to be reflection every single day, scripture every single day, challenge every single day. $21 for Ascend 21. It's where we do the deep self-love work, not surface level, soul level. And then also you can do Stop the Trauma, because if you know that trauma has influenced your patterns, then tomorrow's workshop is the space for you to get free. $21 for Ascend, $49 for Stop the Trauma. I would love to see you in both, because truth be told, you can be in a completely different space and place by the end of July for less than getting your hair and nails done, right? Well, I don't know what kind of hairstyles you get, but You can be in a completely different space for less than $100, all because you showed up and you did the work. And again, price the way it is so that money is not a concern or an issue. And I know how transformative both of these things are individually, but imagine doing both. Imagine all the things that you are going to be thinking about tomorrow afternoon and all Sunday just from doing the trauma work, getting the healing journal and everything that is necessary, and then going into, hey, I've identified those things. I have a plan to work through it. Now let me focus on loving myself better. You will be amazed at where you will be the end of June, the end of July, all because of you actually investing in yourself, doing the work, showing up for yourself. Mom or daddy may have abandoned you in some way, whether physically, emotionally, or mentally, but you now get to set the tone for the rest of your life. You are not responsible for what happened to you, but you are responsible for how you react and proceed going forward. Guard your yes. Say yes to the right things in this season of your life. Your yes is powerful, but let's just make sure that it's healed. We want your yeses to be coming from a healed place, from full consent, mind, body, and soul. Full yes, all the way around. That is what you deserve for yourself this day going forward. All right. I love you. Have a great weekend. I hope to see you in the room tomorrow. Then I can't wait to spend the next 3 weeks with you as we level up and go higher so that you get to that place that you need to be for God, yourself, and yes, your future babe. See you later.